Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Masandra, and in this video I'll be showing you how to make a corset top with a puff sleeve. So let's get right into the video. So to get started, you're going to make a slip knot. And chain a total of 60 chains, which is the length of the top. If you want the top to be longer, then go ahead and chain more chains, and if you want yours to be shorter, go ahead and do less chains. And 60 chains is equal to 12 inches long. So to get started with row 1, we are going to chain an extra one, which does not count as a stitch. So, and into the second chain from the hook, we are going to do a half double crochet right into that second chain, and into the next with another half double crochet. So you're going to do this for the total of 60 chains that we did, and I'll see you guys at the end of the row. So to get started with row 2, we are going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and right into the first half double crochet from the previous row, we are going to do another half double crochet, but this time in the back loop only, and we are just going to go ahead and do the same thing until the end of row 2. Basically just a one half double crochet, and this time around in the back loop only of the previous row of one half double crochet. So to get started with row 3, we are just doing the same thing we did for row 2. Chain 1 and then turn your work, and right into the first half double crochet, we are just going to go with half double crochet in the back loop only. So for row 3 and the rest of the rows, you're just going to do the same thing. And for the back panel, when you divide your waist measurement, the amount you get is what you're using for your back panel. So for this size, the waist measurement is 29, and when divided by 2, that is 14.5. So I'm just going to do a rows of panels that is 14.5 inches wide, and that is not when it's stretched. So when it's unstretched, it's 14.5 inches. That is basically what I'm doing for the rest of the back panel. And when I'm done, I will see you guys and show you guys what I have going on. So coming up to the end of my last row on my back panel, I'm just making sure I do half double crochet in the right spaces so I don't have any uneven. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 and just cut off my yarn, because at this point my back panel is completed. So with my back panel completed, we are going to be working on the front panels. So the top has 2 panels, so this is 1 panel completed, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how you can go ahead and repeat the same process for your own panel. As you can see, the corset thing going on right there, and it's 2 panels. 1 has been completed, and this is how it looks with the corset thing at the top. So you can see the top is longer at the front and then shorter at the back. So let's get right into finishing the front panel. So to get started with the front panel, what we are going to do is we are going to chain a total of 60. So right with the same amount we did for the back panel, that is what we are going to do for the start of our front panel. So go ahead and make a slip knot. And chain a total of 60 chains. So after a total of 60 chains, you're going to chain an extra 1, and right into the second chain you're going to do your first half double crochet, and we are going to do the same half double crochet all around until we get to the end of row 1 of our front panel. So to get started with our row 2, which is our increase row, we are going to chain 1 and turn, and right into the first half double crochet, and also in the back loop only we are going to do our first half double crochet and yarn over and right into that same space with another half double crochet. So this is our increase row, and into the next we are just going to do a simple half double crochet, and all along the way with a single half double crochet in every space until the end of row 2. So coming to the end of row 2, we are going to chain 1 like we always do, and right into the first half double crochet with a half double crochet. So whenever we are working our way down, there is no increase, so this is just a basic single half double crochet. So we are going to go ahead and do simple 1 single half double crochet in every space until we get to the end of the row, which is where we are going to do another increase. Coming up to the end of row 3, this is where we are going to do another increase. So make sure you add 1 single half double crochet right into that last space where we did our first increase. So that is me just trying to find my way around. So we are going to add a last half double crochet, and we are going to yarn over again and right into the same space with another half double crochet. So that is going to make a second row of increase. So chain 1 for row 4, and right into the first half double crochet we are going to go right there with a half double crochet, and remember the back loop, and then we are going to yarn over again and insert a hook right into the same space, which is going to complete a third row of increase. And until the end of this row we are just going to add a single half double crochet until the very end. So coming up onto row 4, we are just working our way to a non-increase side, which just 1 single half double crochet in every space in every half double crochet, and then we are going to chain 1 to start on our row 5. So coming up at the end of row 5 and working our way down to our increase side, so we are just going to go ahead and make sure you insert one half double crochet in every space, and right into the last half double crochet we are going to insert another half double crochet, which completes row 5 of our increase. So go ahead and chain 1 and turn, and another increase we are going to do another half double crochet in the first half double crochet, and then an extra half double crochet right into that same space, and that is what completes row 6 of our increase row. So we are just going to do a single half double crochet all around until the very end. So for the rest of the panel, until you have your desired width, you're just going to repeat the same process that we did for the previous rows. And to know how many rows you need to do exactly for the front panels is you're going to divide how many rows you did for the back panels into 2. So if you did a total of 60 rows, when divided by 2, that is 30 rows for each panel. So that is basically what you're going to do with the same increase pattern until you have a total of 30 rows at each panel. So in my case, I did a total of 45 rows for my back panel, which is an uneven number. So if you ended up with an uneven number, that is fine. All you have to do is just divide the 45 into 2, which ended up with 22.5. So because there is no way we can do a half row, we are just going to do 22 rows for each panel, which ends up with the 45 rows, and that is perfect. There is nothing wrong with you having a 45 rows, because at the end of the day we are going to attach both panels together, and it has a lace up at the top, so that is perfect. If you ended up with an even row, that is also perfect. Just go ahead and divide the amount of rows you had for the back panel into 2 and do 2 separate panels to complete the top. So now that I have my 2 panel completed, so I'm just going to take my back panel and assemble both front panels together. And so what we are going to do is we are going to sew these 2 panels together, starting from here all the way to the end. I'm going to use a single crochet to sew both sides, leaving this side open, and also I'm going to do the same thing to the opposite side. I'm going to attach this panel to this panel, and then I'll come and show you how we'll attach both front panels together to seal the top, and then we go to the sleeves. So coming up, I'm just going to make sure I secure my panels together with a secure knot. So I'm just going to make few knots, and then I'll go ahead and sew in the loose ends. So after sewing my 3 panels together, I'm just going to go ahead and straighten my seams on the side so it's neat and it's straight, so I can go ahead and attach the front panel together and seal off my top. So what we are going to do now is attach the front panels together, but we are going to be leaving an opening right at the top of the corset top, right at the top, and then the bottom is what we are going to attach together. So for me, you are just going to measure how, from where do you want the opening to be, like, because this is going to be the bust area, and I want mine to be right at the, let me take my measurement tape and show. So with your measurement tape, you're going to measure. So originally my top on the front side is 14.5 inches. So for me, I'm going to make sure I sew both sides together. I slip stitch both sides together, starting from the bottom all the way to the 10th inches, to where 10 inches is. So that is right at this point for me, right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a stitch marker right there, but since I don't have a stitch marker, I'm just going to use one of these loose yarn I have lying around. So I'm going to just attach my yarn right, not exactly at this point, but just somewhere close, so I'll know where I need to stop when I'm attaching both panels together. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach this tiny yarn right here. If you have a stitch marker, then go ahead and use that. This is not needed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to slip stitch or single crochet both together all the way to the mark area, because this is where I want my opening to be. But if you don't want an opening, you can also go ahead and sew all sides together. Go ahead and sew both panels together, but I want an opening, so you can just put this across your body and measure where you want the opening to stop. So starting from the top all the way to where you want the opening to stop, and then you just sew both the rest of the parts together. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that now, and then I'll come back and show you guys where we're going to do the lace up area. Note, please make sure you're sewing this side of the front panel exactly where you sewed the sides together, because you don't want to sew your front panel at the right side, because then it's not going to look, it's not correct. So make sure you're sewing this front panel at the wrong side, where do you sew both sides together. So after sewing both sides together, this is how it's looking. I'm going to go ahead and turn my old piece into the front side, into the right side. And I'm also going to go ahead and straighten the sides that I sewed together, because usually it has this rough end. So I'm just going to go ahead and flatten everything so it's looking flat. I'm going to do the same thing to the opposite side, just so everything looks flat and in place. So this, like this, and also this side, because it's also important, just like the rest. So this is what our top is looking like at the moment, and as you can see, we have this opening right here. So for this opening, we're going to do a lace up kind of thing going on there. So what we are going to do is we are going to make a long string, so we'll be able to lace it up right here. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead, and I have some remaining yarn left from this side of the panel, so I'm just going to go ahead and chain a total of 150. So you can chain as long as you want or as short as you want, depends on you. So I'm just going to make a chain of 150. So now that I have my 50 chains, this is how it's looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do half double crochet all the way to the end, to the edge of where we started with the chains, and I'll see you guys and show you guys how we are going to go ahead and make the lace up then. So I'm just going to go right into this second chain from the hook with a half double crochet, into the next with another half double crochet, and into the other next with another half double crochet. So I'm going to do this for this whole chain, and then I'll see you guys when I get to this point. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I turn my work, because we are working our way all the way down. So what I'm going to do is just working my way with my half double crochet until I get to the last chain that I made. So this is my last chain. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and make a V. I don't know how to call this, but you can see from what I'm just making loops, so I'll be able to pass through the strings and do the tie up. And what I do when I want to make my loops is like, now that I'm at the last, and I'm going to go ahead and chain 3, 2, 3, and I'm going to skip 2 stitches. So I'm going to skip 1, 2, and into this third chain, third half double crochet, I'm going to go in with a slip stitch. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch right into the next, chain another 3, skip 2, 1, 2, and into the third one I'll go again with another slip stitch, into the other next with another slip stitch, chain 3, 3, skip 2, and in the next with a slip stitch, slip stitch into the very next, chain 3, skip 2 half double crochet into the third with a slip stitch, slip stitch into the very next, chain 3, skip 2 and into the third with a slip stitch, and then slip stitch into the next. As you can see, we have these loops going on right here. So this is where we are going to do a lace up. So now that I'm actually at the end of this loop, I'm just going to go ahead and do a single crochet right at the center. Right there, I'm just going to go there with a single crochet, and after my single crochet right at the center, into this, coming to the opposite side, I'm going to go ahead and do a slip stitch right into that space. And from here, I'm going to chain 3, 3, I'm going to skip 2 and into the third chain with a slip stitch into the very next, chain 3, skip 2, which is 1, 2, and into the third space I'm going to go with another slip stitch, a slip stitch in the next, chain 3, skip 2 space, and into the third space with another slip stitch into the next, chain 3, 2, 3, skip 2 space, and into the third space with a slip stitch into the next, chain 3, skip 2 space, and into the third space with another slip stitch. So I'm also going to go ahead because I didn't finish off this row, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish this off with a secure knot. So I'm going to slip stitch into the next, chain 3, skip 2, and then into the next with a slip stitch, and then right here at the top with another slip stitch. So from here we have our loops already made from both sides. So we started right here and then we did the loops all the way around. So now what we have to do is continue to make another chain, 150 chain, that is going to make everything even, just like we did up the opposite side. So I'm going to go ahead and chain a total of 150. So after a total of 150, I'm just going to do the same thing that I did, just work my way right back into the chains until I get to this start, and then I'm going to seal off my work and then just lace up everything together. So when I get to the end, all I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go right into that first double crochet right there, and then I'm going to do a slip knot, and then I'm going to move my way all the way onto the right top there. It's another slip knot. So now I'm just going to chain 1 to fasten off. I'm going to cut this off. So I have this also, so I'm just going to make a double knot so it's double knot, and I'm going to go ahead and sew in my loose ends right there. As you can see, this is how the top part is looking. We have this loop going on around there, and also at this other side, as you can see. So now we are going to go ahead and lace up a top. So we're just going to go ahead right into that first loop. Right there. So at this end, this is what we have going on. This is what our top is looking like. So we are going to go ahead and switch from this side. I'm just going to go ahead and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right here is where I'm going to attach my yarn. So I attached my yarn to the 13th row coming from the side, but you can go ahead and just try your top on and see where you want to attach your sleeve, right at where you want to attach your sleeve. So you're just going to go ahead and attach to your yarn right at that side. So to really know the amount of chains you would need to do or how long you will need to do a chain, you're just basically going to measure your arm width for the measurement you're making. So my arm width is 12 inches. So instead of doing a chain that is 12 inches long, I'm going to go ahead and do a chain that is 10 inches long. And the reason is because we'll be working around the top. So the remaining 2 inches is going to be around the top, which you will later on see as we go. So after you have your completed length for the sleeves, you're just going to go ahead and turn your work and attach the chains right at the back of where you attach the front. So right where I attach the front, I'm just going to do the same thing at the back. So after chaining 45, I'm just going to go ahead and attach my yarn right at the back of where I attached the front side. So I'm just going to go there and attach it with a single crochet. So after attaching my yarn, I'm going to go right back to where I came from with a single crochet all around. So I'm just going to go ahead and single crochet my way around, all around. So right there, I'm gonna go right there with a single crochet. So I'm just going to go right here again with another single crochet. So coming right at the beginning of my double crochet, I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch right there. Right there, I'm gonna go ahead and slip stitch, and now I'm going to start my row. So I'm not going to chain anything, I'm just going to go right into the first with one double crochet and into the next with two double crochet, one double crochet into the next, and into the very next with two double crochet. So I'm going to do the same thing all around until I get to this end. So coming up at the end of row 1, we are just going to go right over the first row with continuation of double crochets. So this is how it's looking. So right into the first double crochet that we did from the previous row, we are just going to go there with another double crochet right there, as you can see. And for the rest of the rows, it's just single crochet, double crochet in every double crochet from the previous row. So we are just going to do one row of increase, which was at row 1, and for the rest of the rows we are just doing a single double crochet in every space. So coming up at the end of row 2 and to get started with row 3, we are basically just doing the same thing we did, one double crochet in every double crochet from the previous row. So for the rest of the sleeves, you're just going to go ahead and do the same process for as long as you want your sleeves to be. So I went for short sleeves, but you can go ahead and do longer sleeve if that's what you want. Definitely your choice, it's your preference. So it depends on what season you're making the top for. It looks good with short sleeve, it looks even better with long sleeve. So that is on you, you can go ahead and decide, but just continue to do a total of the rows until you have your desired length, and I will see you guys at the end and show you how we go about decreasing. So coming up with my completed sleeve, I did a total of 18 chains, but like I mentioned earlier, you can definitely go ahead and add more rows or even do lesser rows. So now we are going to start at decrease. So we are going to decrease and get the sleeve to be the exact width of our arm. So for that, we are just going to, for the first row of decrease, we are going to decrease 2 double crochet together. So we are going to insert a hook in the first and into the next, and then we are going to single crochet both double crochets together, and you're going to go ahead and repeat this for the entire row, and then I'll see you guys at the end. So coming up right where we started at decrease row, we are going to do another decrease row, because as you can see, the top is still, the sleeves are still white, so you're going to repeat the same thing. So in this case, you're just going to single crochet the single crochet you did from the previous row. So you're just going to single crochet 2 single crochets together for the entire row, so you can get the sleeves to be tighter. If you are a beginner, I would definitely advise you to add a stitch marker right at the first decrease row, because that is going to help you to know where you need to end your decrease row and where you need to start your second decrease row. So coming up to the end of my second decrease row, at this point my sleeves are tighter, so I would not go again with another decrease row. So now I'm just going to go ahead and single crochet my way all around into every space available. So if your top is a bit too tight, then you can go and reduce the decreases, but mine is perfect. And if it's too wide, you can go ahead and do another rows of decreases. That depends on you, but for mine is perfect, so I'm just going to go ahead and do single crochet all around the sleeves where I did my decreases. So to finish off my sleeve, I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch right into the beginning of the row and do more slip stitch across just for my sleeves to be secured. And I'm going to chain one and cut off my yarn and sew in my loose ends. So at this point, one sleeve is completed. You can go ahead and repeat the same process for the opposite sleeve. Sew in your loose ends if you have any, and your top is completed. So this brings us to the end of the video, guys. I got my sleeves completed and my top is completed. So if you did get to make yourself one of the top, don't forget to tag me on Instagram at Mihankushea, because I would love to see what you guys made and the colors you went in for. So please feel free to tag me on Instagram. And if you like this video, kindly give me a big thumbs up so I would know you guys enjoy videos like this, and it will also help my channel to grow. And if you have any questions at all, or comments, or even suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comment section also, because they are welcome. And don't forget to join the family if you haven't, because we have a lot of things coming. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao, ciao.